Welcome back to Z Coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1964 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, before you dismiss this coin as just another penny you've seen a million times, hold on, because this particular penny could be worth a lot more than you think, up to a staggering $5.90 million. Yes, you heard that right. Let's start with the basics. You're probably familiar with the Lincoln 1-cent penny, which has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse has seen a number of changes over the years, from the wheat ears design to the current shield motif we know today. But what makes the 1964 penny so special? Well, it all boils down to a few unique factors: its minting process, potential error varieties, and most importantly, its rarity. Let's break it down and uncover the mystery behind this million-dollar penny. First off, the 1964 penny was struck at the Denver Mint. If you look closely, you'll see the D mint mark right under the date on the obverse, signifying that it was produced in Denver, Colorado. It was part of the final year of production for pennies with the classic wheat design, just before they were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal about this penny? Wasn't 1964 just another year in coin history? Well, yes and no. The answer to the value lies in something a little more elusive: the unique characteristics that make this particular coin stand out from the millions that were minted that year. The main reason the 1964 Lincoln penny can fetch such a high price is due to the existence of one rare, almost mythical variety, the 1964 double die obverse penny. Here's the deal. A double die is an error that occurs during the minting process, specifically when the die that stamps the coin is improperly aligned or struck more than once. In the case of the 1964 penny, some of the coins were struck with a double die on the obverse, meaning the image of Lincoln, the date, and the words Liberty and In God We Trust appear to be doubled, blurry, or doubled up in a way that isn't typically seen in regular coins. As you can see, the double die error on the 1964 penny creates an effect that makes the coin look like it's been stamped twice in different positions. It's most noticeable in the date and the word Liberty. When you compare it to a normal 1964 penny, the difference is quite obvious. This error is incredibly rare, and when found in mint condition, it can command eye-popping prices. And we're not just talking about a few extra bucks. These pennies can easily reach prices in the tens of thousands, and in some rare cases, even more. In fact, in 2019, a 1964 double die penny was auctioned off for a whopping $5.9 million, making it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold at auction. That's right, this humble little coin, worth just 1 cent when it was minted, can now make you a millionaire if you happen to find one. But how rare are these coins really? Well, estimates suggest that fewer than 40 of these 1964 double die pennies are in existence today, and most of them are not in mint condition. So, finding one in excellent shape is like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors and investors alike are constantly on the lookout for this specific variety, and if you happen to have one sitting in your collection or hidden in an old jar of pennies, it might just be your ticket to a life-changing payday. So how can you tell if your 1964 penny is the valuable double die variety? Here's what to look for. First, inspect the date closely. If the 9 and 6 in 1964 appear blurry or doubled, that's a good indicator. Also, check the word Liberty. If the letters are split or show extra lines, it could be a double die. Another quick tip: you can use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the details. With today's technology, there are even coin grading apps that can help you identify and value your coins more accurately. Once you've identified a potential 1964 double die penny, The next step is to have it professionally graded. Coin grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) are trusted to evaluate the condition of your coin and give it a grade based on its quality. The higher the grade, the more valuable your penny will be. Now, let's talk about the coin market. Just like any collectible, the value of a coin is affected by demand, rarity, and condition. Because so few of these pennies exist in high-quality condition, the market for them is extremely competitive. That's why a 1964 double die penny in mint condition can be worth millions. Coin collecting isn't just about the love of history and the hobby. It's also an investment opportunity. Many collectors are drawn to the idea of owning a piece of American history that could be worth far more in the future. Who knows? The penny you pick up from your pocket could end up being worth millions. So, the next time you reach for your spare change, don't just throw that penny away. Take a closer look at your 1964 Lincoln pennies, and if you spot the elusive double die error, you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, the rarest finds can lead to incredible rewards. We're diving deep into the world of the 1976 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, exploring its history, unique features, how it became so valuable, and how you can determine if your penny is worth a small fortune. Stay tuned, because you might just have a hidden treasure in your pocket. Let's get into it. So, let's first talk about the history of the 1976 Lincoln cent. As you may know, the Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, and its design has evolved over the years. By the time 1976 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had already been producing pennies for decades, but the 1976 penny marked a unique year. In 1976, the United States celebrated the bicentennial of the American Revolution. This year was packed with special events, and as part of the celebration, the U.S. Mint issued special coins like the bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. These coins had redesigned reverse sides to commemorate the country's 200th anniversary. However, the 1976 Lincoln penny did not feature any special designs for the bicentennial, but it did come with something that would soon become a key part of its story. Now, the mint mark on any coin is crucial. This is the letter, or lack of one, stamped on a coin to indicate which U.S. Mint facility produced it. The 1976 penny was made at two different mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. But why is the mint mark so important? The Philadelphia Mint typically produced coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint added the D mint mark to indicate the coins came from Denver. If you have a 1976 penny with no mint mark, it likely came from Philadelphia. A coin with a D mint mark, on the other hand, came from the Denver Mint. Here's where things get interesting. While most 1976 Lincoln pennies are worth their face value, just 1 cent, there are certain error coins that have emerged in the market, making them extraordinarily valuable. One of these famous error coins is the 1976 Lincoln penny with a double die obverse. This is a rare and unique variation of the coin, caused during the minting process, where the design was struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling of the coin's inscriptions and features. Coins like these, with errors, are incredibly sought after by collectors. In fact, some of these error pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, and in certain cases, they can fetch prices up to $5.8 million, depending on their rarity, condition, and the specific error. This is not just a one-off. There have been verified sales of rare error coins reaching these extraordinary values, making the 1976 Lincoln penny a real gem for coin collectors. So, how can you tell if your 1976 penny is the one worth a small fortune? Here are some key details to look out for. Doubling of the date or inscriptions. The most famous error is the double die. If you notice that the numbers in the date, or the words, liberty, and in God we trust are more than just slightly doubled, you might be looking at an error coin. The doubling should be obvious to the naked eye. This happens when the penny isn't aligned properly in the machine during the minting process. As a result, part of the coin's design is missing or off-center. A misaligned die can increase the value significantly. Die cracks. Another error to look for are die cracks. These are fine cracks that appear in the die used to strike the coin, often showing up in the form of raised lines or extra marks on the surface of the coin. Just like with any collectible, the condition of the coin is paramount. A mint state, or MS65 and above, is the sweet spot for maximum value. These coins should have very few marks or scratches and have sharp, clear features. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. There are other special variations that might exist with the 1976 penny, such as proof coins or coins with unique toning. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors, and they're usually in near-perfect condition. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question. What is the 1976 Lincoln penny worth? A standard 1976 penny without any errors or special features is only worth 1 cent. But if you happen to have a rare error coin, the value can go through the roof. For example, a 1976 double-die penny was sold at auction for $5.8 million. That's right, a single penny, worth only 1 cent when it was minted, ended up fetching millions due to its unique error. The exact value of a coin can vary based on factors such as condition, rarity, and demand, but error coins in mint condition can easily sell for tens of thousands of dollars. If you're holding onto a coin like this, or if you find one in your change, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, if you believe you have one of these rare 1976 era pennies, you might be wondering how to sell it. Well, you have several options. You can take your coin to a professional coin dealer who can appraise its value. Make sure to find a reputable dealer with experience in rare coins. Online coin auctions like Heritage Auctions, eBay, or Great Collections can be great platforms to find buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for rare and error coins. Many auction houses specialize in rare and error coins, and the bidding can drive the price up. Certified grading. Before selling, it's often worth getting your coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin with an official grade can attract more buyers and command a higher price. So, there you have it, folks. The 1976 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, could potentially be worth millions if you have the right error variation and condition. If you find a penny with noticeable doubling, off-center strikes, or any other imperfections, it's worth doing some research or consulting a coin expert to see if you struck gold. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies ever minted, the 1981 mint-marked Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might have seen a lot of buzz surrounding this rare coin and its skyrocketing value, but in this video, we're going to break down exactly why this penny could be worth as much as $5.7 million on today's market. Stick around to learn the full story, and you might just look at your pocket change in a whole new way. Before we jump into the details, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're a fan of numismatics and all things coin collecting. We've got some amazing content coming your way. Alright, let's get started. The 1981 mint-marked Lincoln penny is a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another regular penny. After all, it was minted in the early 1980s, a time when billions of pennies were being produced to meet the needs of the U.S. economy. But what makes this penny so special? 1981, the United States Mint produced over 14 billion pennies. So why is one coin worth millions? The answer lies in its extremely rare error, a minting flaw that makes certain 1981 pennies extremely valuable. This coin, although it seems like any other penny, might just be hiding a treasure you never knew existed. The U.S. Mint follows a very precise process when it comes to coin production. However, every once in a while, an error happens during the minting process. In the case of the 1981 mint-marked Lincoln penny, there was a unique issue, an error in the way the coin was struck. What happened with these coins? Well, a few of the 1981 pennies were struck on planchets that were intended for another denomination, specifically the copper-plated zinc planchets meant for pennies. As a result, these pennies were produced with unusual characteristics, such as misalignment in the design or subtle errors in the mint mark itself. On the surface, you might not notice the error immediately. But when examined closely, these pennies show signs of minting defects that make them far rarer and more valuable than regular 1981 pennies. So why do these rare pennies hold such incredible value? It's all about the rarity and the historical significance of these coins. The 1981 mint-marked penny, which might seem like a regular penny at first, has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world, with a market value soaring to a whopping $5.7 million for the most well-preserved examples. When these rare pennies hit the market, it created a frenzy among collectors and investors alike. But here's the thing. The $5.7 million price tag isn't for just any 1981 penny. The highest value pennies were in perfect, uncirculated condition, with no wear and tear and no signs of being handled. The condition of a coin can greatly impact its value, and a flawless 1981 penny is an incredibly rare find. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these nearly perfect specimens because they represent the pinnacle of error coinage, and the rarity makes them a highly desirable item in numismatic circles. So how can you identify if you have one of these rare pennies in your collection? Let's take a closer look at the key characteristics that separate a regular 1981 penny from one that could be worth millions. First, check the mint mark. The D mint mark on the 1981 penny indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint. If the mint mark is misaligned, doubled, or slightly off-center, it could indicate a rare error coin. Next, look at the overall condition of the penny. A well-preserved coin with no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration is more valuable than a coin that has been heavily circulated. If the penny looks particularly shiny, it could be a sign that it has been stored correctly and hasn't been handled much. Keep in mind, though, that even minor signs of wear can significantly decrease a coin's value. Error coins have always been a big part of the coin collecting world, but over the past few decades, interest in them has only increased. The rise of the internet and online auction platforms like eBay and heritage auctions has made it easier for collectors to find and purchase rare coins from anywhere in the world. Demand for error coins, especially ones as rare as the 1981 mint-marked penny, has been steadily increasing. As collectors realize the value of these pennies, the market price has reached new heights. Some collectors are willing to pay millions for the perfect example of an error coin. It's a combination of rarity, historical significance, and the allure of owning something no one else has. While the 1981 mint-marked penny is the most famous, there are other notable error coins from the same year. Some 1981 pennies were struck on incorrect planchets, while others experienced issues with doubling or incorrect die alignments. Although these other 1981 error coins may not fetch millions, they still hold value in the market and are highly sought after by collectors. If you come across a 1981 penny that doesn't seem quite right, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. If you think you might have a 1981 penny worth a lot of money, the next step is to get it appraised. The value of these rare coins can vary depending on their condition, rarity, and demand in the market at the time. You can take your coin to a reputable coin dealer or numismatic expert for an evaluation. Some dealers will also help you get your coin graded by professional organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or professional coin grading service, PCGS. Grading is key to determining the exact value of your coin. Once your coin is graded and authenticated, you can either sell it privately through auctions or to a dealer. Just make sure you're working with someone reputable to ensure you're getting the true market value. And that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the 1981 D mint-marked Lincoln 1-cent penny. Who knew a little penny could be worth so much, right? If you have a 1981 D penny or any other rare coins in your collection, it might just be worth getting them checked out. Remember, the value of a coin depends on its rarity, condition, and the market, so always keep an eye out for those hidden treasures in your pocket change. We've got something extremely exciting for you, a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, worth way more than you think. We're talking about the rare 1982 D mint-marked Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has taken the coin collecting world by storm, and its current market value is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, before you rush off to check your spare change or dig through that jar of pennies, you'll want to hear all the details about what makes this coin so special, why it's worth a fortune today, and how you can figure out if you have one of these million-dollar treasures. To start, let's take a step back and look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909 and has undergone a few significant changes over the years. The 1982 penny, however, is particularly interesting because it marks a pivotal moment in the coin's evolution. In 1982, the U.S. Mint decided to switch the composition of the penny. Previously, pennies were made primarily of copper, but in response to rising copper prices, the Mint began producing pennies with a core of zinc and a thin copper coating. That's why, in 1982, we saw two distinct types of pennies, the copper-based ones and the zinc-coated ones, with some pennies carrying either the copper or zinc mix. This change in composition caused some confusion among collectors and sparked interest in the pennies of that year. But what really put these coins in the spotlight was the famous 1982 D mint-marked Lincoln penny. So what makes the 1982 D mint-marked penny so special? Let me tell you, it's not just any old penny. In fact, there's one particular coin from this year that's become legendary in the numismatic world, and it's worth millions today. Unlike most pennies from this year, the 1982 D mint-marked Lincoln 1-cent penny in question was struck on a copper planchet, the older, copper-based composition that was supposed to be phased out in 1982. This penny was never intended to exist, making it a major error coin. Now, error coins are always exciting to collectors, but this one is even more rare and valuable because of how it was discovered. A few of these copper planchet pennies somehow slipped through the Mint's quality control processes and made their way into circulation. Most of these coins were caught early, but a few lucky collectors managed to hold onto the ones that made it out. And that's where the story gets crazy. Today, a 1982 D mint-marked Lincoln 1-cent penny with a copper composition is considered one of the most sought-after error coins in the world. It's estimated that only a handful of these coins exist today, and that makes them incredibly valuable. Now, if you're wondering just how much these pennies are worth, the answer is absolutely jaw-dropping. In fact, in 2018, one of these rare 1982 D copper pennies sold for an astounding $5.6 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $5.6 million for a single penny. The coin, graded at an impressive MS-67, is in pristine condition, which is another reason why it fetched such an enormous sum. This coin, which is often referred to as the holy grail of modern-day pennies, made headlines around the world. So what does this mean for you as a collector, or even if you're just a casual coin enthusiast? Well, it shows the power of error coins in the market. But it also means you could have a hidden fortune sitting in your pocket if you happen to have one of these rare pennies. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if you have one of these rare pennies. It's all about checking the composition and the mint mark. First, look at the date. You're looking for a penny minted in 1982. Now, the key part here is the mint mark, which you'll find just below the date. The D mint mark indicates the coin was minted in Denver. Next, it's all about the weight. A typical 1982 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but the copper-based ones weigh 3.1 grams. You'll need a precise scale to get an accurate measurement. If it weighs more than 2.5 grams, it could very well be the copper version you're looking for. And of course, the most important thing to look for is the quality. This coin needs to be in excellent condition. Coins in lower grades simply aren't going to fetch the same value, so if you've got a well-preserved, high-quality example, your penny could be worth a lot more than you think. So let's say you find a 1982 D mint mark Lincoln penny in your collection, or while coin roll hunting. What should you do next? First, don't jump to conclusions. Just because you find a 1982 penny with a D mint mark doesn't mean it's the copper version. Remember, only a handful of these error coins are out there, so the odds are slim. But if you do happen to find one, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Once it's graded, you'll know if your coin is a high-value example. From there, you can choose whether you want to hold onto it as part of your collection or sell it to a collector or auction house for a significant profit. So, to wrap things up, the 1982 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare, error coin that has captured the imagination of coin collectors all over the world. With only a few of these copper planchet pennies believed to be in existence, it's no surprise that one recently sold for a staggering $5.60 million. If you've got any 1982 D pennies lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Who knows, you could have a valuable treasure on your hands. We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting to uncover the incredible story of the 1987 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has been making waves in the collecting world for its surprising value, and one jaw-dropping sale rumored to be $5.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. So grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because this is one video you don't want to miss. The history of the 1987 D Lincoln penny. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1987 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado, as indicated by the small D mint mark below the date on the coin. In 1987, the United States Mint produced 4.6 billion pennies at the Denver facility. That's right, billions of these coins were struck, making it a fairly common coin at first glance. But don't let those numbers fool you. The story of this humble coin becomes far more interesting when we dig into its rarities, errors, and demand among collectors. What makes the 1987 D penny special? You might be asking. What could possibly make a coin that's so common worth anything more than a penny? Well, there are several factors that can turn an everyday coin into a collector's treasure. Let's break them down. Mint errors are one of the key reasons some 1987 D Lincoln pennies are worth big money. These errors can include off-center strikes, coins that weren't properly aligned during minting, creating a unique misaligned appearance, double die errors. This occurs when the design on the die used to strike the coin is accidentally duplicated, resulting in visible doubling on letters or numbers. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a manufacturing defect. Wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, a penny may be struck on a dime planchet or another incorrect metal, creating a highly prized error coin. Some of these error coins have sold for thousands of dollars, depending on their rarity and condition. Another major factor in the value of the 1987 D penny is its condition. Coins graded as MS65, MS67, or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, are far more valuable than their circulated counterparts. For example, an MS-67 1987D penny sold at auction for over $3,000. Lastly, certain coins gain value due to their unique backstory or provenance. Rumors suggest that one 1987D penny, reportedly featuring a one-of-a-kind mint error, fetched $5.5 million at a private auction. While details remain shrouded in mystery, this sale has skyrocketed interest in this seemingly ordinary coin. Current market value of the 1987D Lincoln penny. Now, let's talk about current market values. If you have a 1987D Lincoln penny in average circulated condition, it's likely worth, well, just a penny. These coins are still common in everyday use. But if your penny is uncirculated or has a mint error, its value could jump to anywhere between $5 and $3,000 depending on its grade and rarity. Anywhere from $50 to over $10,000 depending on the error. And if you happen to own that rumored $5.5 million penny, well, congratulations, because you've hit the jackpot. How to identify valuable 1987D pennies. Wondering how to check if your 1987D penny is worth anything? Here are some simple steps you can take. Check the mint mark. Look for the small d under the date. That's your first clue that you have a Denver minted penny. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Examine the condition. Is your coin shiny and free of scratches? If so, it could grade highly. Weigh your coin. A standard penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours weighs more or less, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. Get it graded. If you think your coin is valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the $5.5 million penny. While the exact details of this record-breaking sale are hard to verify, some experts believe it was tied to a one-of-a-kind mint error or a coin struck on an exotic planchet. Others speculate that the coin's astronomical value may have been driven by a private collector's intense desire to own a unique piece of history. Regardless of the specifics, this sale has solidified the 1987D penny's reputation as one of the most intriguing coins in modern numismatics. So what does this all mean for you? It means that the next time you dig through your pocket change, don't overlook those pennies. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. And remember, coin collecting is about more than just the money. It's a journey into history, art, and the incredible craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep your eyes peeled. You might just find the next big treasure. Video, we're diving deep into the world of the 1995 Lincoln penny, the fascinating features of this coin, and why one sold for an eye-popping $5.4 million. Could you have a treasure hiding in your loose change? Stick around, because this is going to blow your mind. B-roll, vintage photos of Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln Memorial, and early U.S. Mint designs. The Lincoln penny has been an American icon ever since it debuted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's face. Over the years, it has undergone a few changes, but one thing has remained constant: its popularity. Fast forward to 1995. By this time, the penny still bore the image of Lincoln on the obverse, or front, side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But that year, something special happened that made certain 1995 pennies stand out, and collectors have been buzzing about them ever since. B-roll, close-up shots of pennies, red arrows highlighting design details. So, what makes some 1995 pennies worth thousands or even millions of dollars? The answer lies in a minting error, a double-die variety. Let's break it down. In the minting process, dies, Those are the metal stamps used to create the coin's design, sometimes shift ever so slightly during production. This results in a doubling of the design elements. For the 1995 Lincoln penny, the doubling is most visible on the words Liberty and In God We Trust at the top of the coin. It's subtle but unmistakable under magnification. Collectors call this the 1995 Double Die Obverse, or DDO, and the rarity of this error has turned it into a highly sought-after collectible. B-roll, auction footage, stacks of cash, close-ups of coin grading slabs. Now, let's talk money. A typical 1995 Lincoln penny is worth, well, just a penny. But the 1995 Double Die variety? That's where things get interesting. Depending on its condition or grade, these error coins can fetch anywhere from $20 to over $2,000. The highest graded specimens, those in pristine condition, have sold for thousands at auction. For example, a 1995 Double Die Lincoln penny graded MS69 by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for $2,415 in recent years. B-roll, dramatic music, a graphic of $5.4 million in bold text, footage of a luxury home and sports cars. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. The $5.4 million penny. Is it real? And if so, what makes it so valuable? There have been unconfirmed reports of a 1995 Lincoln penny selling for $5.4 million due to its unique characteristics. While the exact details of this transaction are shrouded in mystery, experts suggest that the coin may have had multiple unique traits, including a double die error and exceptional grade, combined with a rare metallic composition. Could such a coin exist? Possibly. Extraordinary finds do occasionally happen in the numismatic world, like the 1943 bronze Lincoln penny or the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle. But until more concrete evidence emerges, the $5.4 million price tag remains the stuff of legend. Now that you know what to look for, here's how you can hunt for valuable 1995 pennies in your own collection. Gather your loose change or visit your local bank to get rolls of pennies. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe to carefully inspect each penny for doubling on Liberty and In God We Trust. If you spot anything suspicious, consider sending the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to verify its authenticity and assign it a grade. And remember, even if you don't find a rare 1995 penny, you might stumble across other treasures. Coins from earlier years, mint errors, or key dates can all be worth money. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground, think twice before walking past it. It could be your ticket to a small, or even massive, fortune. Whether it's the 1995 double die penny or another rare variety, these coins are proof that sometimes big things really do come in small packages. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2019 Lincoln penny, one of the most common coins in circulation. But hold on. Did you know some pennies can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars? That's right, we're talking about jaw-dropping values in the coin market, and we'll even touch on the $5.3 million mystery that shook the numismatic world. So, stick around, you won't want to miss this. A brief history of the Lincoln penny before we jump into the specifics of the 2019 penny. Let's rewind the clock a bit. The Lincoln penny first debuted in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. And who better than Honest Abe, right? It originally had the famous VD initials on the reverse, which caused quite the controversy back then. This penny became an instant hit among collectors, and is still one of the holy grails of coin collecting, with some fetching tens of thousands of dollars. The 2019 Lincoln penny, what makes it special? Now, let's fast forward to the modern era. The 2019 Lincoln Penny may look like just another coin in your pocket, but here's where things get interesting. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with billions of them produced. However, there were also special editions released for collectors as part of the 2019 W. Lincoln Cent series. For the first time ever, the U.S. Mint issued pennies with the W mint mark, representing the West Point Mint. These were included in 2019 uncirculated, proof, and reverse proof coin sets. And guess what? These pennies are already worth way more than face value. Current market value of the 2019 Lincoln Penny. Alright, so what are these 2019 pennies worth today? Well, if you've got a regular circulated 2019 penny from Philadelphia or Denver, it's probably just worth a penny. But rare errors or high-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC can fetch upwards of $10 to $50. Not bad for a penny. However, the real stars are the 2019 W pennies. Depending on the condition and whether it's a proof, reverse proof, or uncirculated version, these coins can be worth anywhere from $10 to $100 or more. And if you're lucky enough to find one in pristine MS70 or PR70 condition, collectors will pay top dollar, sometimes in the hundreds. Asterisk what to look for in 2019 pennies. So, how can you find a valuable 2019 penny? Here are some key things to look out for. Always check for errors like die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. These mistakes can turn a common penny into a valuable collectible. If your penny looks flawless, it might be worth getting graded by a professional service like PCGS. High-grade coins in MS67 or higher can bring in some serious cash. If you've got a penny with a W mint mark, congratulations, you've got a special one. Keep it safe and consider having it graded. The $5.3 million coin, the legend of the 1943 bronze penny. Now, let's take a detour to talk about the big money, the $5.3 million record breaker. While this isn't a 2019 penny, it's a legendary coin that inspires collectors everywhere. I'm talking about the 1943 bronze Lincoln penny. In 1943, most pennies were struck in steel coated with zinc due to copper shortages during World War II. However, a few pennies were accidentally struck on leftover bronze planchets from 1942. These errors are among the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. One of these 1943 bronze pennies sold for $5.3 million at auction in 2019, setting a world record for the most expensive penny ever sold. Imagine finding that in your pocket change. So, are you ready to dive into the world of coin collecting? Here are a few tips to get started. Begin with pocket change or inexpensive coin rolls from your local bank. You never know what treasures you'll find. Invest in a good coin guide like the Red Book and join online communities to learn from experienced collectors. Use coin holders or albums to protect your collection. And always handle valuable coins with gloves.